I never imagined my first football tournament as a coach would turn into a medieval survival story. But hey, life has a way of putting you straight into chaos. It started on a foggy Thursday morning. I was 21, freshly graduated, still buzzing from yesterday's grueling training session. I hadn't slept much, but I told myself, no problem, Coach Mick got this. The plan was simple. Get on the football team bus, nap for an hour, crush the tournament, collect bragging rights. But apparently, every bus in the school's parking lot had conspired against me. Same blue paint, same squeaky doors, same faint smell of sweaty uniforms. Running on a caffeine and pure stubbornness, I climbed into the wrong bus. Didn't even check the sign. Sat down, yawned, muttered something about teamwork, and promptly passed out. When I woke up, we weren't at a stadium. We were at the Stonehenge. Can you believe it? The Stonehenge. Kids in History Expedition 2025 jackets were snapping pictures and talking about Neolithic mysteries. I blinked, rubbed my eyes, and muttered, "This doesn't look like a football pitch." The bus driver, an old guy with a toothless grin, just said, "You'll get there," and drove off. Not ominous at all. I stepped out hoping to find my team somewhere. No luck, just rocks, tourists, and weird chill in the wind. Then the sky started dimming. People gasped, pointing up. "Oh great," I said. "An eclipse, perfect time to get lost." Naturally, I looked right at it because I am an idiot. A total idiot. Next thing I know, wind, blinding light, spinning, then darkness. When I came to, I was lying face down in mud. My first thought was, why does this field smell like horses? Then came the thought, where's the visitor center? Before I could stand, I heard voices. Deep, commanding ones. I looked up to see knights, actual knights, staring down at me. "By the king's beard," one shouted. "A demon from the heavens!" Demon? Seriously? I croaked. I just fell. Long story. Also, "Hi, I'm Coach Mick." They didn't seem convinced. Before I could explain why fire football, someone shouted, "Seize him!" And I got dragged like a sack of potatoes. They tossed me in a dungeon. Dark, damp, smelled like wet socks. I tried to be optimistic. At least I'm indoors. But honestly, I was terrified. Hours passed. I did push-ups just to stay sane. Then after what felt like forever, the door cracked open. I thought I was getting released, but no luck. A guy just grunted. "You're up for trial tomorrow. King Arthur will decide your fate." Wait, King Arthur? Like the Excalibur guy? Fantastic. I'm time-traveled into a legend. The next morning, I stood in front of a crowd inside the massive stone hall. My wrist was shackled, and everyone stared like I was some cursed relic. King Arthur sat on the throne, looking all noble and intimidating. He spoke calmly. "You appear during an eclipse. Speak strange words and wear odd garments. Explain yourself." "Right," I said. "See, I'm from the future. Wrong bus, wrong place, wrong century. Total accident." That earned some gasps and at least one sorcerer from the back. Other side, clearly unconvinced. Just as he raised his hand to declare whatever punishment was fashionable in the 6th century, a side door burst open, and my savior came right in. A frantic man in robes stumbled in, panting. "Your Majesty," he cried, "the river's overflowed. The fields, they're flooding. The crops, they'll be ruined. Famine, disaster, cats and dogs living together." Arthur frowned. Calm yourself, Minister Perslot. The poor guy flailed like a drowning goose. Calm, my lord. The wheat, the barley, the sheep are floating. And that's when my big mouth saved me. Still in shackles, I muttered under my breath. If you build a temporary sandbag dam along the river bank, it might hold long enough to redirect the flow. Everyone went silent. Arthur turned slowly toward me, asking, What did you just say? I froze. Sandbags, dirt in sacks, block the water, stop the flood. That's what I said. The king studied me for a long moment. Then, to my utter shock, he said, Release him. Let this coach prove his worth. Wait, what? I'm not. Okay, fine. That is what went on my mind. And that's how I, a confused football coach from 2025, ended up supervising a medieval flood control. They gave me 50 men, 0 tools, and way too many opinions. But I'd wrangled teenage athletes before, so this was same energy, a lot less armor. Alright team, I shouted. We're building a wall. Fast, get those sacks filled. You with the mustache, stop arguing and start digging. The knights obeyed, sort of. We hauled dirt, packed it into old grain sacks, and built a rough barrier along the river bank. I explained how to angle it, where to reinforce, and how to leave a small channel for pressure release. The minister kept panicking like, We're doomed. Doomed, I say. But we ignored him. By sunset, the dam held. The flood slowed, the field stayed mostly dry, and the people cheered like we'd just won the medieval World Cup. Arthur rode in later, inspected the site, and gave a rare smile. You have saved Camelot's harvest, stranger. Team effort, I said. Always is. From that day on, they didn't call me a demon anymore. They called me Coach. Arthur kept me around after that, said my strategic thinking could help train his knights. Honestly, I think he just liked the sandbag idea. Either way, I was officially Camelot's new coach. So began my next great challenge, teaching knights about teamwork. I started with simple drills, warm-ups, footwork, coordination, no armor, no swords, just movement. We're not fighting dragons today, I told them. We're fighting fatigue. They complained at first. Sir Lancelot grumbled that jogging in circles feels unmanly. Sir Gawain tried to turn every exercise into a jousting match. But slowly, it started working. They got faster, sharper, more disciplined. I taught them to shout encouragements instead of insult. We even did passing drills with lances. Not OSHA approved, but effective. Arthur watched from sidelines, arms crossed. Strange methods, he admitted one day, but the result speak loudly. Thank you, I said. We call it cardio. Of course, not everything went smoothly. One day during council, Arthur was stressing over war plans, and I tried to lighten the mood. You need to chill out, Your Majesty. The room went silent. Chill out. Arthur repeated, dead serious. Yeah, relax, take it easy, I said. He raised a hand. Guards, take him back to the dungeon until he explains what this chill magic means. So back to jail briefly. Luckily, Sir Bridby watched for me. Sire, his strange words come from wisdom. He strengthens morale. Arthur grumbled but let me out. After that, I avoided slag. Weeks passed, and I became part of Camelot's life. I designed obstacle course, organized jousting leagues, even built a primitive scoreboard using carved stones. The knights called it Mike's Miracle Slate. They respected me, even liked me. We laughed, trained, and sometimes just sat by the fire, swapping stories. I told them about my world, lights, cars, football matches, with thousands of people cheering. They thought I was making it up, but they loved the tales anyway. One night, after a feast, Arthur raised his goblet. To Mike of the future, he declared, who turned floods into victory and chaos into strength. Everyone cheered. I stood holding my cup of mead. Tried not to bring too much. To Camelot, I said, and to teamwork, the one magic that never goes out of style. The hall roared with laughter and applause. Later, under the quiet torchlight, I stepped outside and looked at the sky. The eclipse shimmered faintly again, just as a ghostly ring above the clouds. Maybe it would take me home someday, maybe not. But for now, I had knights to train, a kingdom to protect, and a reputation to keep. And honestly, being the football coach of Camelot wasn't such a bad gig. Wait to see what happens next.